I commonly have people come into my office who I find are very afraid of having a tummy tuck. And usually their biggest concern is pain. And so I wanted to share at least a few things that I do to help make people more comfortable during their recovery. So that way there's a little bit less pain and less to be afraid of. Now, the first thing I do that I think is significant at reducing pain is that I do a drainless tummy tuck. Now, for the first 10 years of my career, I used drain tubes when I did tummy tucks like a lot of surgeons do. And what I found was that the number one complaint everybody had after surgery was that they hated the drains. They were a major source of pain as well as just a nuisance to take care of. So when I switched to a drainless technique several years ago, I found that people were much more comfortable in that postoperative period, not only because they didn't have to take care of the drains, but because they didn't have pain at their drain sites. So I think that the drainless technique really does give us something that's much more comfortable during that post-op recovery. Now, the second thing I do that I think makes a big difference is I'm not a fan of really over tightening the skin and the muscle. I think there are some surgeons out there that just feel like that maximal tightening of everything is the best way to get a long-term result. And I just don't see that that's true in my hands. I find that if I do a very reasonable tightening of the skin and the muscle, I'm able to still get an exceptional outcome, but have reduced pain during that post-op recovery period, and it lets people feel like they can return to normal activity much sooner. Now, the third thing that I do for people that are really afraid of pain is I will use a medication called Exparel. Now, Exparel is a long-acting numbing medicine that I actually inject around the most painful parts of the surgery at the time that we're in there, especially around the muscle repair. And I think that that gives us some numbness that helps you reduce pain for several days after surgery, and that really reduces the need for people to take narcotics. So I find that if we can be able to use the drainless technique, not over tighten, and use Exparel as a medication that might help to reduce pain, we can make a much more comfortable recovery for people so there's much less to be afraid of.